Hey everybody, it's your old pal Robert from ThrillRide.com. How you doing? So today, on still another gorgeous Southern California day, I'm in a town called Perris, California. That's Perris, Paris. And it is home to something called the Southern California Railway Museum. Recently learned about this really cool place. Has a very large collection of vintage steam engines and passenger cars. And it includes, I believe, in its collection, an engine or engines that were owned by Disney Legend Ward Kimball as part of his Grizzly Flats backyard railroad. So, yeah, definitely looking to check out that. And, you know, anything related to trains, I'm always happy to see. And as far as I understand, the museum is free. So, major bonus, free parking. Yeah, it's a pretty magnificent day to be out here. So, yeah, let's go enjoy some cool vintage trains. These old ticket booths out here, they look to have some sort of a theme park vintage to them, but I'm not 100% sure. And of course they are closed because there's no need to purchase a ticket. They do have guided tours Tuesday through Friday with knowledgeable docents, but I'm here on a Saturday, so yeah, no tours. We're just going to free roam today. Ooh, that's a cool looking, looks like an old electrical locomotive that is. Neat. And here we go. Well, that is neat. They have dedicated paver stones you can purchase, which I'm sure contributes to the upkeep of the property and its magnificent engines, including, look at this bad boy. Listen to that baby purr. Well, it may have one time been part of the Orange Empire Railway Museum, so I wonder if this is now a permanent part of this collection or is on loan. And here comes, oh, it looks like an old Santa Monica Boulevard trolley car. Oh, that's beautiful. And sure enough, guests are on board. Yeah, might have to try that out. Look at that, nice. Oh, looks like another trolley car. Beautiful. Oh, that is incredible. Look at that. South First Street in Vermont. Oh, man. So here's some helpful directional signage. We get the Smith Train Shed to the right and the LA Railway Car House and Grizzly Flats to the left. Excellent. Well, let's head to the right first. I want to build towards Grizzly Flats. Right. I would imagine the party caboose is available for rentals for special events of some kind, birthdays and whatnot. And this looks to be some sort of track clearing car. Like a big V-shaped plow nose up front. And then some kind of, looks like extensions on the sides that fold down and out. And then in the back here, looks to be maybe a device for raking things up off the back of the track. I'm just guessing here, but that might be a fun thing to pilot down a set of rails. As you might expect for a place that bills itself as having a lot of trains, that's a pretty sizable property. Definitely getting some steps in and looking towards something called Car Barn 4. So yeah, let's head that way, and on the way down, pass by some more industrial rail cars. Looks like this is a big crane car of some kind. Neat. Yeah, oh wow, I see. So that is the bed that holds all the detritus that this crane picks up. Neat. Wow. Again, very heavy duty. Yeah, look at the size of those gears to raise and lower the crane arm. Impressive. That's pretty cool. There is a flatbed that has its own set of rails that carries a smaller crane that can ride the rails on its own. Neat. Look at that red Santa Fe caboose. That is a classic right there. Just walking along a row of what look to be just cargo cars, and look at that old wooden box on wheels, all that peeling paint. That is pretty cool. And then some metal hot box. Yeah, there's just something about rusting metal. That aged patina that these old vehicles and pieces of equipment get that I really dig. Yeah. Well, apparently you can climb up onto the nose, so how many chances does one get to do such a thing? So I'm gonna do it. Yeah, look at that. To be riding on the front of this thing while it was in operation. I don't know if that's even allowed, but that'd be pretty intense. All right, let's head into the Hugh T. Smith car house. Oh, wow. Look at this. So this first vehicle right inside here is part of the Soo line, a business car number 54, built in 1927. Car one of 3 built for the Soo, S-O-O line. The railroad was based in St. Paul, Minnesota. Well, it looks like the car itself is closed, so you can't walk in and explore, but it's pretty cool to see from the outside. And look at that really cool kind of sign on the front. So it looks like some of these, some of the trains here did come from the Orange Empire Railway Museum. A little hand-me-down from the city of Pinacate? I think that's how that's pronounced. The locomotive in front of you is Ventura County Railway number 2, a steam locomotive built in 1922. The Southern California Railway Museum maintains the locomotive in operating condition. In most years, number 2 operates regularly on the museum's railway. Wow, cool. And it's currently undergoing a period of inspection and heavy overhaul. Okay. Right, you can see they removed the front of the boiler, I guess that's called. 1920. Look at this, over 100 years old, and it still operates. They don't make them like they used to, I tell you. Oh, wow. That is badass. This is why the steampunk aesthetic appeals to me so much. Rivets and gears and pulleys and levers. I love it. Unless you had any doubt that steam locomotives are a little complex, just take a look at this. Well, we're allowed to look around but not touch. So I'm just going to climb up this staircase and take a quick peek inside. Look at that. Wow. Oh. There's a part of a train you don't get to see too often. And look at all the numbers that are written in chalk next to various bolt heads or whatever those are. Wow. I wonder what the meaning and purpose of those are. So this is the Santa Fe Railway Post Office car number 60, built in 1924 by the Pullman Car and Manufacturing Company, and the earliest reference to railroads hauling mail in the United States dates to the South Carolina Railroad in 1831. Wow. First official contract dates from the mid-1830s with the Baltimore and Ohio Railroad. And it looks like we can go into this one. Awesome. Wow. Oh, neat. It really was a post office on the rails. Amazing. Well, that is one compact little restroom. with the sink that folds down in front of the toilet. Wow, that's efficient, all right. And this car right behind it is a Pullman sleeping car Bison Peak, built in 1926. For more than 100 years, Pullman was synonymous with overnight train travel. Pullman was a manufacturer of sleeping cars as well as an operator. Pullman provided the cars to furnish and staffed, and the railroads hauled them as part of their passenger trains. How do you like that? So this is the Bamberger Railroad Bullet Car, number 127, built in 1932 by the J.G. Brill Company of Philadelphia. One of 5 trolleys built in 1932 for the Fonda, Jonestown, and Gloversville, a 33-mile railroad between Gloversville and Schenectady, New York. This lightweight interurban trolley is built almost entirely of aluminum and have a top speed of 75 miles an hour. Not bad. Cabooses have trailed freight trains in North America since the early 1840s. They evolved from crudely modified boxcars with windows and side doors to modern cars which provide comfortable accommodations for their crews. The caboose served as a conductor's office, train crew quarters, kitchen, and lookout. And this one here is the Southern Pacific Caboose number 570, built in 1924 by the SP Shops in Los Angeles, California. So this car in the back here is the Hill of Howth tramway from Ireland, built in 1901. This car comes from Ireland, where streetcars are known as trams. It was one of 8 trains which opened the 5-mile Hill of Howth line between Sutton and Howth in 1901. Oh man, these old red car trolleys, they are the best. And here's one, Hill Street to Venice Boulevard, San Vicente Boulevard to Olympic Boulevard. Well, those are streets I drive all the time, and man, it pains me that we don't also share the road with these. Look at that. Electric 665. Oh, wow. And we can step inside this one too. Beautiful. Oh. Oh, come on now. This is how we're supposed to commute. Yeah. Oh. And very cushy fabric covered seats. Yeah. Oh. What a shame. And I am thrilled that they kept the vintage advertising up in this car. Such a time capsule. Love it. So this car in particular is one of the Pacific Electric Hollywood cars, named for the many years of service in the Hollywood area. A total of 160 of this car type were built in the 1920s. It's one of their largest and best-known class of cars. Awesome. So this car looks to be part of the military in their transportation corps. And it's a hospital kitchen car. And down here, there's this very impressive, very big metal plaque, which explains Department of the Army, railway car kitchen, 56.5 gauge, 8-wheel domestic service. It looks like we can walk into this one as well. Oh, there we go. Oh, neat, yeah. This looks like a food prep area. Maybe pantry shelves and cupboards. Yeah, they're kind of like submarines. They're pretty long and narrow spaces. So not good for claustrophobics. Yeah, here's the big stove, an oven, and another sink. Yeah, wow. Gotta have meals on the go, right? One of those awesome tanker cars, and another red caboose at the end. Neat. Oh, wow. And this must, yeah, this is the Pacific Electric shed. All right. Walter Abenseth, 1926 to 2006. Walter was synonymous with the preservation of Pacific Electric trolleys and was ultimately involved with the purchase of 8 of the cars in our collection. Awesome. Thank you so much, Walter. So here is a Pacific Electric car called the Bernie car, which has some interesting history that after This car and a couple of sister cars were retired from public transit service. They were sold to MGM, where they appeared in multiple movies, including Singing in the Rain. So a little celebrity car here. Awesome. And that kind of beige and Kelly green paint scheme with the Bearwood frames is pretty damn charming. I approve. And I love behind it, this looks to be a much older trolley car with a very cute little cow catcher in front. And yeah, this is very much still a wooden construct. Yeah. It looks like this was a cargo car. Yeah. Well, here's another color scheme I really dig. This very dark cobalt blue with a bright lime yellow. That's eye-catching. And then next to it, the 1299 Special. Oh, yeah. Yeah, this is definitely something from a bygone era. California's mild climate was the inspiration for this unique style of streetcar. Known as a California car, it features an enclosed passenger compartment in the middle with wide open sections on either side. The same configuration was used by electric railways throughout the state, including the Pacific Electric and the LA Railway. Cool. And I'm sure my fellow type nerds will be enjoying these two sign examples here. Really lovely. Well, I would dare say this may be one of the oldest vehicles on the grounds, because yeah, it's got some miles on it. Doesn't look like it ever was a rail car, but I dig the tank treads in front. Yeah. I wonder what purpose this served. So here's a cool little display of various kinds of railroad signals. And here is a sign that explains what a semaphore is. Originally, semaphores were raised and lowered by hand and illuminated by kerosene lamps. As electricity came into use, the kerosene lamp was replaced with the electric light, and the mechanism was electrified as well. So right there on the right is the banjo signal, and it's pretty clear why that was so named. And right over here is something called the magnetic flagman, or the wigwag, which is pretty funny, because that warning light would swing back and forth as the thing rang. And then here is the crossing bell, for an audio warning. And across the way you've got something called the block indicator, and then the color light signal. And I guess this variation is called the upper quadrant wigwag. Wigwag. I think that's my favorite new fact I've learned today. All right, my trolley ticket has been acquired, so it's $13 to ride the train. But again, considering that the admission and the parking here is free, I consider that an astounding value. Oh, and I love that they also have the vintage advertisements in this car as well. So great. Looks like the Grizzly Flats building over there, so we'll be checking that out soon. There's one of the wigwags. Well, that is really fun. It takes you on a 10, 15-minute ride around the property, makes a couple of stops, points out some of the other buildings to check out. And they did mention in one of the car barns, there is a trolley car that is outfitted as a funeral car. One of a kind. So, yeah, need to go check that out immediately. So this is the building dedicated to LA streetcars specifically, like the trolley we were just on. And it was there that again, the conductor said, you can see a train car in here that is, I think he said, one of a kind. The only one like it that exists in the world. So, now let's see what we got. Oh, yeah. See, I love this old design that kind of almost has like a city bus look. All those rounded curves, very aerodynamic. And don't forget, transit advertising packs a punch. Oh yeah, look at that. Los Angeles transit lines. Oh, to go back in time and see these all in action. These would appear to be of a newer era than the sample we just rode. And again, also having that very aerodynamic look. Feels very 50s-ish, maybe? And also, again, very much approve of the bright coloration. We need more brightly colored vehicles on our roads. Look at that. Pico to Rimpal. Take this car to Bullock's downtown. I know we had a Bullock's when I was a kid growing up here. I don't think a Bullock's still exists. I could be wrong. And look at that beautiful headlamp with the wings. Very, very deco. I love it. All right, this is it. The funeral car Descanso, built in 1909 by the Los Angeles Railway. In the days of unpaved roads and horse-drawn hearses, the trolley funeral car offered a more dignified ride to one's final resting place. For $25, the car could be chartered to transport the funeral party to and from one of several online cemeteries in Los Angeles. The small doors on the side permitted a casket to be loaded inside. Upon arrival at the cemetery, the casket would be transferred to a special rubber-tired carrier and wheeled to graveside. You can't enter the car, but they do have this elevated platform to come up and take a look inside. And unfortunately, there is a ton of glare on the glass, so not sure how much you're going to see, but it looks like there's some wicker furniture. Yeah, looks like the seats are wicker, which again speaks to its very early vintage. And I do appreciate the very elegant stained glass that appears above each of the passenger windows and these kind of oval windows at the front of the cab. And I learned some Spanish today. Descanso means rest in Spanish. This is really neat. These are the names of all the lines of the Pacific Electric. Yeah. So many. And again, love the typography on a lot of these. So according to the information panel for this railway car, until the advent of standardized streetcar designs, many railway companies continually rebuilt their older equipment to meet changing needs. Car 1160 is an example of a car which was rebuilt several times, with its current configuration bearing little resemblance to its original appearance. Well, here's a car that looks like it's in pretty dire need of some restoration. On the other hand, man, if they did haunts out here for Halloween, oh man, what they could do with some of these old battered cars. If anybody who works here is watching and is interested in finding out more about doing a Halloween overlay, I would love to talk. Yeah, here's another trolley car that has a very city bus-like appearance. And it's hard to know which influenced which. Did buses take on the look of the trolleys, or did trolleys take on the look of the buses? I don't know, but I like this variety. And here's another one of these special California cars with the open air compartments in front and behind the enclosed areas. Love that. Also has a very theme parky feel to it too, which I'm sure I'm responding to. can see here, it looked like the big handbrakes that some sort of operator would use to control the vehicle. Right, so this is a cable car. And this is a fact about cable cars here in San Francisco, anywhere, that I was not aware of until very recently. The cable is constantly in movement under the road. And the cable car simply uses a grip to grab the cable when it wants to move, and then it lets go of the cable when it comes to a stop. But that cable is always going. That blew my mind. Oh, here's another extra special bit of history about this one. Car 43 operated in San Francisco until the mid-50s when it was sold along with 5 other cable cars to Knott's Berry Farm in Southern California. Excellent. And here's another beautiful old streetcar that looks like it's undergoing some restoration. And this car here, I'm not quite sure I understand, but it was called a sow belly. So it says the low step of the center entrance permitted ladies in their long dresses to board the car with but one dainty step. Although it seemed like a good idea at the time, the sow belly design was incapable of later conversion to one-man operation, which was to become a necessity as labor costs rose. Okay. So this is the back end of the shed, and we can see some of the work getting done. Some of the restoration that's happening on some of these. Oh, so cool. Wow. Yeah, look at this. In some cases, they really strip it down to the frame and rebuild it completely almost. Oh yeah, look at the original wood on the side here. So this must have been the center entrance, right, where ladies would get on and off, and the reason for the demise of this design. And there it is, the last major stop on this glorious tour, the Grizzly Flats Railroad Barn. Stoked. I guess more properly, this is engine house number 6, and it's got the Grizzly Flats, Southern Pacific, Nevada Central, and Historic California Car Builders vehicles in here. Excellent. All right, let's see what we got. Oh, heck yeah. Magnificent. Okay, apparently this is a newly restored cowcatcher from the Emma, Nevada. Man, they are so beautiful. I love cowcatchers so much. And here's this absolutely gorgeous model of the Emma, Nevada, which I guess was the premier engine for the Grizzly Flats line. Yeah. Ah, beautiful. This fire hose reel car from circa 1890s is a wheel vehicle used to carry a fire hose. That makes sense. The cart was easily moved by volunteer firemen and other personnel. Fire hose reel cars like this one were once commonplace around railroad facilities and other industrial sites, especially during the age of steam. Makes sense. So this engine, originally built by the Baldwin Locomotive Works in 1907 as a coal burner, one of hundreds of small industrial engines for work around mills, mines, logging, and other industrial plants. In 1948, Gerald Best purchased the locomotives Olomana and the Poca from the sugar company and arranged to have both shipped to California via steamship. And Ward and Betty Kimball acquired the engine from Gerald in 1948. Chad O'Connor, Ollie Johnson completely rebuilt the Waimanalo Sugar No. 2 to Ward's design in the early 1950s to its present appearance. The original brake saddle tank and oil tanks were removed, and a new redesigned water tank was located on the rear deck. And Ward designed an entirely new and different cab. Amazing. Ward and Betty operated the engine along 500 feet of track in their backyard, which they named Grizzly Flats Railroad. It would be fired up for yearly gatherings of Kimball family and friends. Yeah, I'm sure Walt rode this many, many times. So great.
Backyard in San Gabriel, California.
Ah, gotcha.
He was chief animator for Walt Disney. He was so important that John Lasseter from Pixar came and picked her up, put her on a truck. It's actually going to cost over $1 million to fix her. He has Ollie Johnson's engine. He's actually pulling Chloe around, and there she is in New Orleans Square.
Oh,
and
wow.
He brought her back on the truck in 2017, one day at Disneyland, and brought her back here.
Amazing.
This is not his first engine. His wife, Betty, gave him Coach 5, that yellow and green coach over there.
Okay.
For their first-year anniversary present.
And that's the passenger coach, yes?
Yes.
Okay,
And she
amazing.
said, we need something to pull it on the 500 feet of track they had in their backyard, and they called their backyard Grizzly Flats. They're in Grizzly Flats. So they got Emma Nevada. He changed the name to be an opera singer from the 1800s, and that's appropriate because that's an 1881 engine.
Gotcha.
The
Okay.
neighbors complained about the coal smoke, so he got this engine from Hawaii. And this engine is a saddle tank engine, so he took the water from here, put it back here in a tender, 2 sand domes. He took that sand dome off because he didn't need it, because when it was in Hawaii, there was so much sugar cane on the track that they needed to use a lot of sand. And he replaced it with a bell.
Amazing.
He is the
Okay.
artist who did Jiminy Cricket, Tinkerbell, and Casey Jr. So yes, when this was in Hawaii, this was built in 1907 to burn coal, but when it was on Hawaii, it was burning oil. Ward Kimball didn't want that. So he took the water from here, put the water back here.
Wait, miss. You have chips. We're not touching.
Okay, well, this is an incredibly rare opportunity that I have, and I'm going to take it, and that is to climb aboard and ring the bell of this train. That's amazing. That's the very bell Ward Kimball rang when he piloted this train around the property. I gotta say, it'd be hard to pick just one of the 9 old men to go back in time to meet, but really twist my arm, I think I would have to pick Ward Kimball. It's his friendship with Walt and their mutual love of trains and everything else he did. You know, the man in space special. I would love to have a beer with this guy, or a soda water if he wasn't a drinker. Oh, well, heck yeah, I'm going to donate to this very worthy cause. Just a couple of bucks, but yeah, anything to get this magnificent piece of history rolling again. I love these old trucks that were converted to rail use by throwing a cow catcher on the front and replacing the rubber wheels with steel ones. Really neat. And here's another caboose we can head into. Awesome. Oh, yeah. Oh, this is vintage, all right. All wood. Neat. Look at that. A canteen and a seat. Men at work. And a little first aid kit. And I'm guessing this is some kind of fire extinguishing device. Yeah. Cool. And the old railroad lamp. Oh, love this. Yeah. Neat. And then you come out the backside. Awesome. I would imagine owning your own steam locomotive and the property to run it on has got to be a hugely expensive thing. Because not only do you have the actual train itself, but the property and the grounds to really lay out a decent enough track. Yeah, but man, the fantasy is strong. Anyway, yeah, this is the Emma Nevada, and we saw the cow catcher up front, all fully restored, so this is still undergoing its own complete restoration. Well, here's a full-size smokestack to appreciate, and it actually explains here the purpose of the smokestack: to help combustion of fuels such as wood, coal, or oil. Its design would control sparks and reduce fire danger. Cool. So yeah, the big funnel shape, that traditional, is called the balloon. And then the more curved one's the cabbage. I like that. And there's a very helpful list of the names of all the components of an engine. Yeah, and I keep forgetting the cowcatcher is also known as a pilot. And I guess that would be the proper name, as that is listed first. And look at that visual detail. That is some fine artistry going on right there. Oh my. I love that. So this tiny little shack is called the doghouse. And the very kind docent here explained that this is where the people who helped turn on and off the air brakes would hang out as the train was in operation. Neat. This is the round table where they can turn the train cars around to put them on different spurs. Cool. I don't think I've ever seen one quite this small. And you see the huge ones at the roundhouses, but yeah, this is really neat. It's like a little piece of art. I love that. All right, I think that is going to bring this one to a close. So, as always, thank you so much for coming along, and really hope you enjoyed a look around this amazing free museum of incredible vintage railroad cars and engines. My expectations were fairly high, and they were exceeded. I really dig this place a lot. There's so much to see. There's a lot of stuff that wasn't available today that would be on other occasions, so always worth coming back to see more. And they have some holiday overlays, which I'd love to see someday. Nothing for Halloween yet, but we'll see what happens. Because again, a ghost train exhibit here would be super fun. Anyway, so that you're still listening and watching, I'm so grateful for. And if you would be so kind to consider either giving it a thumbs up, or sharing, or subscribing, or all of the above, I would be super grateful, because that all really helps support the channel. And again, if you'd like to support the channel financially, please visit thrillrags.com. And again, I'm working on some new designs, so stay tuned. It's going to take a little while before they're available, but got some things in the works. So, in the meantime, take care, and we'll catch you in the next one.